Airspace is tricky, so let's simulate a short flight to explore different classes of airspace. We're going to depart Pine Valley, 19 November in southern New Jersey. This airport's about 15 miles southeast of Philadelphia International. This means the airport is beneath Class Bravo airspace. But what class airspace are we in just after departure? It's not Class Bravo. The Bravo begins at 2,000 feet here and goes up to 7,000. We need to look a bit further away at this shaded arc. Everything within this area, which is essentially the greater Philadelphia area, is subject to Class E airspace beginning at 700 feet AGL with Class G below that, unless some other airspace exists. So immediately after departure from Pine Valley, we're in Class G airspace. On the ground, we're at 150 MSL, but 0 AGL. Class E starts at 700 AGL, which would be about 850 MSL here. So as we take off and climb, that's when we'd enter that airspace. There's no special changes for us flying VFR going from G to E. The weather minimums change, but there are no different communications or equipment requirements. So now let's say we want to cruise at 3,000 for this flight. We're going to ask for a Bravo clearance. We don't have to and could simply wait until we're clear to climb all the way up. But if we do want to climb right to 3,000, we'll be entering Bravo airspace here at 2,000 feet. So a clearance is required. We're going to make a left turn and continue the climb. Crossing that blue line, we leave the area where the Bravo begins at 2,000, which is what it was under our departure airport, and enter an area where the Bravo doesn't begin until 3,500. So at this altitude, we've departed the Bravo and re-entered Echo airspace. We don't need to be talking to ATC anymore. From our cruise of 3,000 feet, we proceed to the southeast, remaining in Class E airspace. We're going to Atlantic City International, which is a Class Charlie airport. Prior to entering Class Charlie, preferably 20 miles from the destination airport, we need to contact and establish two-way radio communication with Atlantic City approach. Crossing the line here, we enter Charlie airspace, which begins at 1,300 feet and goes up to 4,100. So at 3,000 feet, we're right in the middle of it. On the descent towards the runway, we remain in Charlie airspace the whole time. Crossing into the inner ring of the airspace, we see that it starts right at the surface and goes up to 4,100. Airspace is tricky, but running your own mock flight and calling out what class airspace you're in throughout is a great way to internalize it, rather than just memorizing symbols and rules. Check out more Flight Insight training at our site today.